My poem talks about Miss Kalipo. Basically, when I was back in grade 10, I had her for the first time ever for fitness class. And I remember that time I was a stress ball. I was always stressed about getting good marks, and I didn't really focus on my health, basically like the social aspect of it. The key missing ingredient in a fulfilling life: health, laughter, and happiness. Warm friendships. Hooray! It makes out the spot in my brain.
We wanted to focus on Julie's growth over the course of her time here at Stephen Lewis Secondary School, not only as a student, but as a woman herself.
Miss Kalipo really focused on me. So she was the golden one, you can say. So that's why she's the golden goose, and I'm kind of like the egg that just really compressed really tightly with all my stresses and just focusing too much on academics and not focusing on the healthy part of living. And she kind of taught me with each little step, like the cracks, the shell breaking open, and then the goose coming out. She's strong in her character and also in like physically, because she is also my wrestling coach. I like fitness because it kind of like lets me release my energies, like a catharsis. I don't know, I just liked planking, so I just got into a habit of it. It was like an addiction. Most of my teachers have been pretty great. They've all been very helpful. I know I can be annoying sometimes when I ask questions. Even Ms. Kalipo finds that. Personally, I would like to become a teacher too. I learned that to be a great teacher, you need to be empathetic, you need to be patient, and you need to teach with love.
We talk about what the value of literature is, especially in grade 12. She really accomplished that this year, and that's how I want her to feel. I want her to feel that she has understood the value of literature because she has participated in creating it.
Life is meant to be enjoyable, and it should be a balance too. There should be some challenges at times that are strenuous, right? But it should not always be strenuous because that's no fun. You don't want to always be running on the treadmill with a carrot right in front of it and never reaching the carrot.
It's about a traditional mother coming into terms with her son identifying as a female. Her son. Even now, 30 years later, the word son stirred up a foul taste in her mouth and snatched away her appetite. She remembered the awful words she said to him that night, the insults that bounced off every wall, the argument that shook the house, and the slam of the door vibrating when he ran away.
I think what I love about Dia is that she is self-reflective and she's willing to challenge herself and her own ideas and her own thoughts.
In my homeschool, somebody got murdered in the parking lot. I didn't want to go to that school. I didn't feel safe there, so I applied for the arts program. I didn't know anyone when I came here, so it was just a completely different crowd. It was hard to connect with the people that were here and to make friends, but I did, and we're really close. I wanted to participate more in school and put more time into learning about different things, opening up to like different hobbies. So I started with badminton, and then I joined Model UN, HOSA, and the yearbook team. I also started coding, but then I stopped that because it was boring. I dance is a classical Indian dance. In my old school, everyone was of an Indian background. We all spoke the same language, and we all had the same experiences. It's not really fit in the school, it's fitting in my own body. It's trying to find that balance to make that average me, with all those other me's. And so you can't just say, oh, they're not an introvert like me, so I don't know how to connect with them. No. You have to be able to do that. My personalities will always change, so there's not really a me. It's just me's. There's a bunch of me.
She's a young woman who I think will change the world.
I like learning. I like having discussions in class and just changing myself to be better than who I was yesterday.
A strong woman definitely kind of does not need to have people who follow her as long as she's doing what she feels is the right thing to do. Even so, don't we owe it to at least remember, this isn't about a score to settle. Just pause for a mere moment and listen. While the lyrics of change enter our senses, and you will sing.
Brooke is a cool kid. She likes to think outside the box. She is non-judgmental, and she is very thoughtful about what she says.
A strong woman is someone who definitely fights for what they believe in. Like the woman I chose, Buffy St. Marie, she went against anyone who stood against her, and she provided freedom and a speech pretty much for those who had been silenced.
I think that's one of the most important things that young people can do. It's really difficult to be an ally. We just don't become an ally like that.
I'm not particularly great at English, so with poems there's a lot more freedom to move around, and I figured if I'm going to be doing it, I want to do it my way. School for me is very much a come, do your work, and then go home at the end of the day. I'm here mainly for good grades. I don't know how to kind of put it into words. I think that's kind of part of it. When I'm talking or when I'm thinking, it seems like it's moving either too fast for me to quite comprehend fully, or that it's moving a lot faster than when I try to explain it to people.
It has not been diagnosed, but maybe ADHD like my mom. I can only read books upside down if I want to process them.
My mom is definitely a strong woman. She was a single mother at 17 years old, and to see how people still to this day kind of hear she was a young mom or how young she was, they like to make those kind of comments based on where she comes from without looking at how she's doing now. And for her to be treated like that, and then you see other people who are being targeted for small things when we should really be building each other up. That is something that I was raised to do by my mom.
Not only has she given the person that she researched a voice, but she's given herself a voice, and she's given other students a voice to say that, you know, what happened in the past was not good.
Winning this contest shows that there are people out there who are willing to listen, and that just gives them even more of a reason to come forward and speak.
Our mom was a refugee from the Vietnam War, and when we read the prompt, One Strong Woman, we couldn't think of anybody else who's faced so many hardships and come out succeeding.
We thought it would be really nice to have like such a strong personal connection to the one strong woman that they're talking about, like it's our mom.
These boys really understand language. They are strong academic students, but they're also creative musicians, and the way that they were able to use English and French.
I love you, Mom, and I appreciate your struggle. You're a legend, you're a hero, you're my mother. It's real.
Maman, tu m'as toujours dit que n'importe quel type de crise, tout est tenu le coup, tout est surmonté tout.
My mom's parents couldn't speak English, so my mom had to learn English in school very fast, so she only took ESL for 1 year so that she could get a job to help support the family.
Yeah, it's crazy for me to think about it because my mom is probably one of the best people at speaking and writing and talking in English that I know.
In the winning song, I sang the French parts and I made the drum beat.
I wrote most of the lyrics. We just bounce ideas off each other. First, we actually started with the beat. So I came up with the piano chorus, we recorded it, and then...
I did the drums since I'm the drummer.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think I could do it myself. I would say Isra is the more creative person, and I'm more about the technical and parts of the music.
For me, I play piano, saxophone, and guitar.
My oldest brother Solomon, he plays piano.
In previous years, I submitted songs with my older brother, and we never got past the regional level.
I think next year, because I'm only in grade 9, I'll be doing entries every year.
One thing I learned from winning this competition is that hard work pays off, because I did work hard for this, and I'm really proud of myself and my brother.
That perseverance, both of their mother and now of them, has really paid off.
It definitely inspires me.
It inspires us both. In our family, I would say that we strive to be hardworking, and we always think hard work is the only way to get anything done.
We can't complain about chores.
Tell myself that I am loved, I am powerful, and I am enough.
I've been drawing since I was 4, so just whenever I see a paper, whenever I see a pencil, I just take it and I draw. It has Greta Thunberg, Yusuf Mardini, and Emma Watson, and they just represent what's an ideal woman in their own way.
My role was to mentor Yumna, but I think it went around because Yumna is a very special student. She's very talented, she's got a lot of knowledge, and I was more listening to her than I guess she was listening to me.
I'm kind of an introvert. I don't really talk to people, so I just observe. And when I observe, I just learn from others' mistakes. I was born in Egypt, and then I moved from Egypt to Dubai at the age of 5. I lived in Dubai for 8 years. And then when my brothers had to go to university, I just went with them to Canada. And it's really different from Dubai, where everyone has everything they want because everyone there is rich. But in Canada, you have to work hard for what you want. But still, you have a lot of opportunities open. It's a very different culture. You're just open to new perspectives, and like even the manners of people in Canada is very different to like the others. And you just have to try to fit in. Here, everyone expresses themselves perfectly. And I'm not the best, so we just like have to work on it harder.
Genre sa photo ici comme elle ressemble à une autre.
Ça c'est bien les English, non?
I talk more through text than actual life because it's easier to like write, because my grammar is better when I'm writing. My mom keeps on telling me, because you're an immigrant, you have to work hard on your work, you have to work hard in your studies so you could get a scholarship, so you could go to a nice university, so you could have a good life. All that just because of the fact that I got an opportunity that not everyone in my country got.
La journée que nous allons aller à la présentation des prix, de juste profiter du moment qu'elle est là, d'être heureuse et qu'elle l'a fait jusque-là, puis que je suis très fière d'elle.
Talent, that means you were just born and you were good at it from the start. No one is good at anything from the start. It just takes hard work and time.
When the struggle feels impossible, I know anything is possible.
A strong woman is a woman who is confident in herself and who does what she feels is necessary and right and good for herself and the people around her. C'est une indication de croissance. Tu ne peux pas les effacer, peu importe combien d'eau chaude tu gaspilles. Ne perds pas de temps en cherchant des shorts pour porter dessus de ton costume de bain.
Son poème reflète les opinions ou les pensées que peu importe la femme, qu'elle soit entre 10 et 80 ans, peut avoir au sujet de son corps.
The idea of stretch marks on the 10-year-old girl at the beginning of my poem came directly from myself. Didn't take any stretch of the imagination. I've had stretch marks since I was probably 8 years old. I grew really fast, and then I sort of hated my body, so I stopped eating for a little bit of time. It wasn't so bad to the point that I had to be hospitalized or anything. It was just a personal way of gaining control. I got help from a therapist, and I'm still learning to love myself and love my body. And I think as much as I was told that and given love by my family and my friends and the people around me, it's taken a while for me to internalize it.
I run a study blog on Tumblr. It's kids from all around the world in different grades. So I started when I was in grade 9. I have almost 3,000 followers at this point.
The French immersion program that I'm doing right now is also combined with IB. When I first came to the school, I didn't really feel like I belonged, and it took some time for me to gain the confidence and realize that what I do is enough, and the amount of work I put in is really all that matters.
Elle est très, très respectueuse, aussi très engagée. Donc, c'est plaisant pour une enseignante comme moi d'avoir son opinion aussi.
I think there are some times when I do enjoy my 17-year-old body, and others when I look at myself in the mirror and I'm still disgusted with what I see. But those times are fewer, and every day that I wake up and am proud of the way I look is another small victory.
My winning poem, it was about my coach, Kelly Robinson. So she's my riding coach. Le moi d'il y a un an n'est pas aussi confiant que le moi d'aujourd'hui. Elle est mon entraîneur, professeur, partenaire et ami. Il y a des centaines d'autres mots qui la décrit. She's given me so much confidence over the last 2 years. I first off fell in love with just the animal, and I wanted to be with them all the time, do anything I could with them. So I started taking riding lessons once a month, and then that ended up being now 4 times a week. So it's really my whole life. I have a horse, her name's May. I adore her. She's adorable. You kind of have to let her do her own thing. She's a bit of a sassy mare. Whereas other horses, they really need your help telling them what to do. So once you really figure out a horse, it's a great feeling. I started showing horses when I was about 7 in what's called the Hunters, and I did that with ponies, and then I moved up to horses and jumpers. And last year, I went to North American Championships. I'm part of the GRIT team, which is like a team for a group of young and up-and-coming riders in Ontario, and they're all the disciplines that go to the Olympics.
She's a great student. She produces good quality work, always on time. She comes into class, she listens, she participates. She's exactly the type of student you want in your class.
I'm in band. I was on the cross-country team. I'm hoping to be on the track and field team in the summer. And today, actually, we have ski club after school.
That was really nice.
It's really a confidence booster, and it's really helped me connect with my teachers more.
J'espère qu'elle réalise que le français, c'est toujours une langue vivante et qu'il y a toujours plein d'opportunités en français et qu'elle est capable. Et que si elle était capable de gagner ce prix de $1 000, qu'elle est capable de faire n'importe quoi.
If you don't have a bond with them, if they don't want to do something, they're not going to do it. They're a 1,200-pound animal, and really, they have the say in what's going on. So if you're not friends with them, they're not going to want to carry you around. So you got to be friends with them. Strong woman to me is someone who can have a positive impact on other people around them. Yeah, sometimes I really do appreciate animals more than people.
There's a power deep inside me, I can feel it rise up in me, and I find the strength to carry on through.
It's not just one flower that makes a garden, you need everybody to grow, and so it's using the people before us to help us grow and to guide us and to guide those who are going to come after us and to set an example of what strong women are and can be and will be. And so my piece really speaks about not just one woman, it is about us all being strong. I wanted it to be something that only someone who was willing to commit the time would notice to it, because it's such an emotional piece that I feel like you have to earn your right to see those bits. It can't just be for everybody.
She will put so much thought before she starts creating any work into the idea behind the work. That creative process starts right away.
You have to work to be inspired, I think. It doesn't happen naturally. And so I always have tiny little sketchbooks on me because I'll think throughout the day, like, how does this relate to what I'm trying to accomplish? Throughout my life, I've developed a really hard work ethic. Probably because of my dyslexia, I have to work a lot harder to get the grades that I want. But I actually was doing too much art and too consistently that I hurt my hand and I couldn't draw for a bit. And so it's been a bit of a wake-up call that I can't always use my art as a form of escapism. I have to stay present. I started rock climbing to strengthen my hand and my grips, and it helps a lot. My passion and desires to help others the way I help myself. I am very passionate about art therapy. I'm going to be going to York University, majoring in arts, minoring in psychology. It's something that I don't think I can ever truly prepare for. I just have to kind of jump out of the bird's nest and let my wings spread. So I'm ready to not be ready.
It's not just about the technical skill, which she clearly has. It's about the emotion and the power behind her pieces, the reasons for creating them, her way to express herself spiritually and emotionally.
I feel even more empowered by the second time around because I've done it once, I can do it again, and that extra motivation and that push really made me want it that much more.
We always hear about those super strong women like Frida Kahlo, Simone Dice, and so many others. And my mom is not one of them. And I find it very unfair. With the tiny slivers of her battered, broken heart, she operates the walls of her fortress. With salty tears, she nourished the gardens that surrounded her castle. She is the rose, and at times, the venomous snake that lives underneath.
That poem, although it's a reflection of Maria's mom, it's also a reflection of Maria because Maria, like her mom, has left home to get an education.
I'm Brazilian, and I've been born and raised in Brazil my entire life. I love school here, so much. I mean, here we get to choose the subjects, which is amazing. In Brazil, you don't get a chance to do that. And having teachers that are all the time caring about you and then having time to do other clubs. In Brazil, in high school, you have to prepare for this big exam. It's basically your door to university. And so you practice that all throughout high school. And that's awful because you don't get to be creative and you don't get to express yourself. You have to think in a way they want you to think so you can answer in the best way. And I don't like that. I'm not this kind of person. So coming here and being able to write poetry for class, wow, that was wonderful. So in a way, I'm kind of living a dream in school, if that makes any sense. And I don't want to wake up. I really like it here. I've been feeling very independent, which is something I never felt really in my life. The first time I got the bus here by myself, I was wow, this is amazing. I felt so free. But I think the coolest moment is when you stop translating in your mind. Someone says hello and you go Thai. We have normal food for lunch, pasta or beans and rice. Brazilians have a lot of beans and rice. And here having sandwiches almost every day, it's really weird.
She was definitely my strongest student. In the ESL classroom, it enriches not only the other students that are in the classroom, but us as teachers. They make you stop and appreciate what it is to be Canadian.
A strong woman is independent and it's confident, but also I'm not all of those things. And I still consider myself a strong woman because I try.
When there's no one on my shoulder and the nights are getting colder and I need someone to help me get through. There's a power deep inside me, I can feel it rise up in me, and I find the strength to carry on through. When the struggle feels impossible, I know anything is possible. 'Cause I got confidence, my strength is permanent. 'Cause I am fearless, fearless, fearless. 'Cause I feel confidence, my find the strength to get back up. Tell myself that I am loved, I am powerful, and I am enough. When the struggle feels impossible, I know anything is possible. 'Cause I got confidence, my strength is permanent. 'Cause I am fearless, fearless, fearless. 'Cause I feel confidence, my power's limitless. 'Cause I am fearless, fearless, fearless. 'Cause I got confidence. Inside me, I can feel it rise up in me, and I find the strength to carry on through.